as far as speed limits go, but they're not effective unless people follow the rules.
Right, you're right about that, Kate. You would hope you wouldn't have to pull people over for going too fast when it's snowing, but this goes back to the conversation you and I had just a few minutes ago, which is one of the biggest problems in northern New England. I've lived in Vermont, upstate New York, and in Maine, is that people are overconfident. They are generally pretty good at driving in the snow, but sometimes they take that a little bit too far and go too fast. So the speed limit's, by the way, down to 45 miles an hour on a stretch of the Maine Turnpike, which is 95 from New Hampshire up into Augusta. That's one problem, travel. The other problem is the same problem Seidel was talking about in Boston, which is where do you put all this snow? Now, this area here, Monument Square, is about pretty urban for Maine. You know, we're downtown, and they're just kind of trying to push some of the snow up against things. It's the same in all of these cities where you've got 4- and 5-foot snow banks, and this is all jammed up against there. So it's really a displacing issue. Where do you put the additional snow? At the moment, we don't have a ton of it here, probably about a dusty inch. Yeah, about a dusty inch or so of snow going on, and it is really, really fluffy stuff just kind of flying around. Part of the reason for that, guys, is the fact that it's 12 degrees right now, and temperatures are actually going to fall through the day. So everything that falls will stick, and it will be just a cold, slow day here in Portland. Kate?
So, Keith, what do you think that folks will do tomorrow? Do you think they're going to have any issues getting to work, or do you think everything will be plowed? What's your personal experience there?
I think people will go to work in general. I think it will be pretty dicey when they do so. There's a slightly laissez-faire way of plowing in Maine, which is kind of assuming that you may have a 4-wheel drive vehicle. So, yeah, Kate, I think people will go, but it is probably going to be pretty rough.
Going to be right there on that line. All right, thank you so much, Keith. Stay warm out there. Let's go over to Reynolds.
That's right, and Kate, we're going to take it from the parts of the Northeast to the Pacific Northwest, where we've got a second storm dropping another round of heavy rain across the Pacific Northwest as we speak. Now, the region already saturated by the system that hit late last week, and we're lucky enough to have NBC's Miguel Almaguer. He's live now from Brennan, Washington, which is about 30 miles due west of Seattle. Miguel, good morning.
Hey, Reynolds, good morning. This small town was battered by wild weather for 3 days. As you can see here, some roads were washed away. Rivers are raging at this hour. And as you mentioned, more wet weather is on the way. This town started to get hit 3 days ago. There was about 3 feet of floodwaters in this area. For the most part, it has begun to recede, but the west was battered by the Pineapple Express for several days, and the storm isn't over. After tying up traffic on Interstate 80 in Northern California, we had thunderstorms in the Bay Area, and now we've had snow in parts of higher elevations over 8,000 feet. But here in lower elevations close to the ocean, we have had many rivers that have just rushed over roads here and eaten away many of these communities. And again, more wet weather on the way later on today, Reynolds.
Okay, Miguel, NBC's Miguel Almaguer live from Brennan, Washington this morning. Thanks so much for your reporting. Folks, the story that we're getting in the Pacific Northwest is certainly a gloomy one. As Miguel mentioned, it's a place that's been inundated by heavy rainwater. We're going to see more of the flooding possibly taking place from parts of Washington State into Oregon. And then Northern California, you're going to have quite a bit of rain falling among the redwoods this morning, and you're going to see it high aloft up into parts of the Sierra Nevada. I'd say from about 4,000 or 5,000 feet up, it's going to be all snow biz. That's right. So driving on parts of 80, if you're making the drive back towards Tahoe, could be rough for you. 3 to 5 inches of rainfall is expected in places like Paradise, California. Some spots that have had issues with wildfires, you're going to have really root systems that are gone. So with that in mind, and the heavy rain coming, could see mudslides. It's certainly a possibility. Also, wind is something that you're going to experience. From Portland to Burns to Elko, Nevada, back into South Lake Tahoe, we're going to have strong winds at times. Could be certainly rough going and tough times for you at the airports, not just in San Francisco or Oakland, but possibly in Portland and back up to SeaTac in Seattle. Kate?
Reynolds, snow fatigue in the Northeast already started coming down. The road's going to be nasty today and into your morning commute tomorrow. We're timing out the storm. Plus, what are you doing this weekend? Good morning to you from AMHQ Weekend. If you're going to be in the west, as Reynolds told you, it's going to be wet. Now, if you're going to be in somewhere like Atlanta, it's going to be gorgeous. There's a live look at it. But I kind of want to lie to you. I would kind of want to say that it's going to be awful, just so you'll stay off the roads. I want to be able to get outside today, Reynolds. I don't want to have to face all the drivers.
I have the worst cold with this runny nose. I better take something.
Dayquil Cold and Flu doesn't treat your runny nose.
Seriously?
Alka-Seltzer Plus Cold and Cough fights your worst cold symptoms plus your runny nose.
Well, what a relief it is. Who wants pizza rolls?
Totino's Pizza Rose.
While we may never know exactly what the weather has in store, one thing we do know is how to be ready for it. Rain-X Original Treatment repels rain, sleet, and snow. Rain-X wiper blades clear the windshield without streaking. Together, they give you the confidence to weather any kind of weather. Rain-X, outsmart the elements.
The Weather Channel celebrates Black History Month as only we can, telling the stories of African Americans who saw their world through weather, then changed the world for the better. This week, we sit down with Guy and Bluford.
Everybody has their fantasy of paradise. What's yours? Discover your paradise.
Congratulations, you're down with Crestor.
Yes! When diet and exercise aren't enough, adding Crestor lowers bad cholesterol up to 55%. Crestor is not for people with liver disease or women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. Tell your doctor all medicines you take. Call your doctor if you have muscle pain or weakness, feel unusually tired, have loss of appetite, upper belly pain, dark urine, or yellowing of skin or eyes. These could be signs of serious side effects.
I'm down with Crestor.
Make your move. Ask your doctor about Crestor.
The call and consultation are free.
Call 1-800-307-9899.
This weekend, Winter Storm Marcus brings yet another round of snow and cold to millions. Monday morning will be a mess. Get the weather story Monday on Wake Up with Al and AMHQ.
Currently in our area, 69 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, partly cloudy, high 77. Winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, cloudy intervals, slight chance of a rain shower, low 60. Winds south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Monday, afternoon showers, high 81. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Albany, New York, you're under a winter storm warning until Tuesday morning. The snow that you're seeing there on your screen already on the ground, giving drivers trouble during the overnight hours. Winter storm Marcus could drop a foot of new snow in the capital region before it's all done. The heaviest snow likely to wind up later this afternoon, and we're going to see that push into the evening hours as well. So we've already seen airports that are trying to cancel flights. At this point, we have at least 34 at Boston Logan. So this morning already, we're counting those as they get jacked up there with all the cancellations. Okay, joining us right now on the phone, Roy Strasser, Vice President of Forecast Operations for WSI. That is a part of our company here at the Weather Channel, part of the same company here. Roy, what happens if airlines do not cancel flights?
Yeah, it's a very good question because that's what most people see when you see it on the news. And if they don't, it is actually it's chaos. So what would happen is if you had a flight trying to, say, get into Boston, that flight would be delayed because they can't accept traffic. And so that delay could go on and into perpetuity if in certain cases, or at least until the next day. And so you have people sitting on airplanes. You're wasting crew time and other resources. But you have to cancel flights because if you do not do that, they have to clean the runways. They have to clean the taxiways. The ramp operations are much less efficient. Workers just don't work as well when there's a lot of ice on the ramps or it's very cold.
Roy, So, Roy, what exactly are we talking about threshold-wise as far as these decisions to cancel a flight?
It's nothing clear-cut, but it's mostly about whether they're trying to anticipate the type of precipitation and the amount of the precipitation. So the type is very important when it comes to de-icing aircraft. And if everybody's traveled, you understand how long it takes to de-ice each airplane. And certain precipitation types, like what we're dealing with in New York right now, is freezing rain and sleet, ice pellet type of, there's actually a point where you're not even allowed to take those airplanes off the ground until that activity stops.
Okay, well, obviously this is a crucial forecast, and we appreciate your help because we've already seen those cancellations getting in line tomorrow, and we appreciate your help making those decisions. Again, that's Roy Strasser. Thanks for joining us this morning. Back out to you guys in the lab.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, you know, your heart is going to go out to the people, not only in Boston, but the people who have to work at the airport, the airlines, dealing with all kinds of issues, especially tomorrow morning in Logan.
Yeah, there's going to be heavy snow, we think, there.
Sure.
And maybe even some freezing rain in LaGuardia, JFK, perhaps even Philly. It's going to be a tough call there. But let's give everybody the overview first and talk about how much snow is going to come. And I want to point out that on the south side of all this accumulating snow on the map, let's go to the map, there'll be some freezing rain tomorrow. So there it is. And there's the broad brush view. We're seeing a large swath of at least, 8 to 12 inches. And there are going to be some places inside of that where we're going to see some enhanced snowfall, in particular eastern Massachusetts, and I'll talk to that in a second. But just to show you what's going on now in eastern Massachusetts and the rest of New England, not a lot. It's kind of a temporary lull, except for this little batch moving through southern Vermont and New Hampshire. But overall, there's not a ton of snow in the broadest sense here, Reynolds, but it's going to increase in coverage later on tonight as an upper-level circulation comes in and the lift across New England increases, and we're going to see a lot more snow later on this afternoon and tonight.
My gosh. You know, it's amazing. I was watching some of the other live shots we have this morning, both in Maine and in Boston. Some places already 2 to 3 feet of snow on the ground. Yeah. The additional amount coming through, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon. No, it's going to be very cold for a long time. We know that in the Northeast. But let's go now to tomorrow morning, Reynolds, because this is important. You were mentioning this about Logan maybe having some heavy snow. Let's go to 8 a.m. and there you go. In eastern Massachusetts, you see there's some enhancement. This data is telling us something that maybe there's a little bit of extra burst of snow hiding in that. Well, we have to take a step back here and go to this afternoon, and the reason why that might be happening is because right now we have surface high pressure that is filtering a very cold air in off the land that way and off the water in that way. So there's a confluent zone and eventually a convergent zone right in that area, which is going to force the air to go up. After it combines, you have that moist flow of maritime air coming in from the east and that north wind coming down. They meet and they tighten up this gradient right in there, and it's that area that we will likely see some enhanced snowfall rates tomorrow morning, I think maybe beginning even as early as tonight, and lead to some of these pretty significant totals there. Spring cannot get here soon enough, but the story is all winter, folks, and we got you covered. Millions dealing with the winter weather.
I have a cold with terrible chest congestion. Better take something.
Theraflu Severe Cold doesn't treat chest congestion.
Really?
New Alka-Seltzer Plus Day Powder rushes relief to your worst cold symptoms plus chest congestion.
Oh, what a relief it is.
Here we go! At Ancestry, we call it a hint. Simply type in a name and follow the Ancestry leaf far into your family's past. A past filled with stories that intrigue and inspire. And in doing so, reveal the one unique, improbable, and completely remarkable path that led to you. Discover your story. Start searching for free now at Ancestry.com.
Okay, here's the plan. You're going to want to turn right.
1.2 miles.
Good ice.
No, you're killing. Watch the lane.
And we had this really great view.
Got a car in our blinds?
And we learned how to salsa dance.
He was dancing.
Backseat drivers just met their match. Introducing the entirely new Sonata Sport.
You forgot to turn off the...
From Hyundai.
Get 0% APR and no payments for 90 days on the Hyundai Sonata. Only your local Hyundai dealer.
Thanks for the ride around Norfolk. And I just wanted to say Geico is proud to have served the military for over 75 years.
Roger that. Captain's waiting to give you a tour of the Wisconsin now.
Could a
parked a little bit closer, it's going to be dark by the time I get there.
Geico, proudly serving the military for over 75 years.
Great, another wedding. Then I'm a bridesmaid in 3.
Oh.
It's okay. I've joined 14 online dating sites.
14? Is one of them eHarmony?
I don't have time for all those eHarmony questions.
Beth, do you want fast or forever? Only eHarmony.com takes the time to find you that perfect someone.
Another invite. Oh, and here's the dress.
eHarmony.com. Stop waiting. Start communicating for free today.
Are you a man over 40 and feeling tired, losing muscle, have less romantic drive? Then you need Ageless Male, with an ingredient clinically shown to increase free testosterone levels. Ageless Male is now available at these fine retailers.
Thrilled to have Jim Cantore on the show. He's been through like 80 tropical systems.
So we've got like 60 years of experience here. And that's just Sam.
Watch Jim Cantore, Sam Champion, and Jennifer Delgado on AMHQ, weekday mornings at 7.
Currently in our area, 69 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, partly cloudy, high 77. Winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, cloudy intervals, slight chance of a rain shower, low 60. Winds south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Monday, afternoon showers, high 81. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
This weekend, Winter Storm Marcus brings yet another round of snow and cold to millions. Monday morning will be a mess. Get the weather story Monday on Wake Up with Alan, AMHQ.
Welcome back to AMHQ Weekend. We are talking about Winter Storm Marcus revving up and getting just ready to slam New England.
Absolutely. And folks, this picture pretty much sums up how people in New England are feeling this morning. It is a church marquee that says, whoever's playing for Stowe, please stop. Can I get an amen? Can I get a hallelujah?
Hallelujah.
Everybody open up your hymnals and let's sing the song that just says no more snow.
I feel like I think you're sending some people to church today.
I think so.
You know what? We talk about New England a lot, right? And Boston, rightfully so, because they've gotten a lot of snow and they're going to get more. But it's also New York State, too, and elsewhere. Look at this lovely picture from Rochester, where it is 24 degrees with 1 to 3 possible today and more to come. I think, yes, right.
Testify!
And more to come thereafter. So it's pretty big news right there across all of the Northeast.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, it's just been a pattern they can't seem to shake. And certainly this morning, people are going to be shaking with this kind of weather, Kate.
You know, you're trying to plan ahead your Sunday. You're like, hey, I need to go to the grocery store. I need to get my kids ready for school tomorrow. Will they have school tomorrow? That's the big question everybody's asking. Places like Boston, the snow starts to pick up a little bit more later tonight. So it's questionable.
Absolutely. You know, I think when it comes to the kids in school, I think the kids are happy about it. The parents would love to see the kids go back to school, but this is not child's play we're talking about. I mean, this is some serious business, possibly several feet that they're going to be dealing with of snow. Already, what, 2 to 3 feet in some places in Boston?
Already on the ground, and then you've got those piles where people have been trying to plow or just scoop out your parking spot. Scoop off your car, make sure you plow, you're shoveling your driveway, and then guess what? You got more snow on top of that.
Brutal stuff, folks. It is another round of pounding snow that we're dealing with, courtesy of Marcus, that is burying Boston, yes, once again.
That's why we have to go to Mike Seidel. He is live for us. There he is. There's the man, the myth, the legend. You've got piles of snow behind you. Obviously, the plows have been doing hard work. The shovels have been doing hard work. Are people, you know, are they fatigued? Are they over it?
They are fatigued, but people are moving around. It's early on a Sunday morning. There's not a lot of action out here at this hour. The snow is coming down lightly. Wind's a bit frisky now out at Logan, where they're gusting up to 25 miles an hour. We've got flight cancellations out in there, 11 departures and 36 arrivals now so far canceled for today. Additional flights canceled tomorrow, so make sure that you pay attention to what's going on if you've got a flight today, tomorrow, or even early Tuesday, because the aircraft that can't get in tomorrow night may not be there for your early Tuesday morning flight. As far as Worcester, Mass goes, take a look. They've already had over 80 inches of snow this winter out there in the Worcester Hills, and it's snowing again this morning. They've picked up 3 to 4 more inches of snow, and as you can imagine, that has shut down schools. They've lost 7 school days so far in Worcester, and we talked to the school superintendent this morning about what's ahead for tomorrow.
We're getting close to making that call. We're evaluating the exact forecast. Obviously, we've had 2 or 3 inches of snow overnight, and so the plows are out. But we're very concerned with the amount of snow that's forecast overnight and into tomorrow.
And they should be, because they've got all these days they need to make up. In Boston, they've lost 6 days, and right now in Boston, they're already scheduled to go to school until June 29th. Behind me is the Trinity Church, Copley Square, a beautiful snowy morning here in Boston, although it's piled way too high for many folks here in Beantown. Reynolds?
Mike, I have to ask you from your own personal experience, have you ever in your career been in Boston where they have had a cycle like this, where it seems like they've had one big blast of snow after another after another?
I was here a few years ago, 3 weeks in a row. We had 3 storms in a row, but they weren't this big. The magnitude, you know, we had an 8-incher or 12-incher, but not, 24.6 followed by a 16.2, and Lord knows what this is going to end up being. But no, nothing like this in this short a period of time. And then we've got that bone-chilling, nasty, dangerous cold coming in after that clipper on Thursday night, which could bring more snowfall here in Boston.
Oh, sakes alive. Thanks so much, Mike. Always great reporting, great stuff. But the topic, guys, let's be honest, it's something that they really don't want to deal with. I mean, more snow on the way. Come on.
I know, just over and over again. That's why we have Dr. Postel here. Okay, you get to be the bearer of bad news now. I'm just going to go ahead and hand this off to you.
I'm so sorry. But you know what? There are people who love the snow, and we got to talk to them as well, because this is a great year for snow. I mean, it doesn't happen very often that they get this much snow. Look, this is again, right? You have, we just said earlier, 2 to 3 feet of snow on the ground in some places. Now a lot more is coming along the way. So really a broad brush area of 8 to 12, but in pockets it's going to be more than that, in particular in eastern Massachusetts. And I'll talk about that at 50 past the hour. But notice New York and Philly and D.C., if you're a snow lover, I feel for you. You're getting shut out again on this one. So sorry about that. Maybe it'll come around in the next couple weeks. Still some winter to go, probably even there too. Right now in New England, we've got some snow moving across the region, and it's really kind of patchy. It's not a lot. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of accumulation today, but later on tonight, we're going to see the snow fill in. It's going to get more widespread and probably